start now.
Thank you.
Step by step, and I'm gonna do it like I'm talking to the beginner. You know what I mean?
Like you're talking to Sub A. I appreciate that
Okay.
so much. Mm.
So, firstly, I think you know by now, there are two set of books.
Yes.
Firstly, we're dealing with someone's money. Remember, the rule says theoretically,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the rule says we are dealing with the trust money here, and please don't misuse trust money. Okay,
Yes.
so that's why we have this. These days we have got people. In the news we've got lawyers who didn't.
Ooh. Can you hear
Belongs to
me?
them, or the money's in the trust, and they don't even give it to the people. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me
Yeah.
now?
Okay. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Um.
I can
Yes.
hear
Yes.
you.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think
Yeah.
maybe it's a little bit of network.
Mm.
Yes. I was talking about the trust books. The trust money is very much important. You must
Mm-hmm.
separate the trust money from your own money. Okay,
Yes.
which is the business money. So you must only use what is entitled, what you are entitled to. Okay.
Yes.
The other thing that I'm gonna write here, I'm gonna write
Wait. I
business.
think I can't see what you are writing. Have
You can't
you
see.
started on the whiteboard?
If you can't see, ne, what I've started writing. So if you can't see, you can
Oh
get
yeah.
out and
Now I can.
rejoin quickly.
Yeah. No. No. No.
You can
Now I
you
can. I
can
can
now.
see this. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I think it's because my video was still on. Yeah. Now we're good.
Okay. Are you on video now?
No. 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 I can see the whiteboard.
Oh, okay, that's great. That's great. So I was talking about the two set of books, the trust books and the business books. Okay.
Yes.
So remember, everything starts from the base. You must know how to deal with the books of accounts when it comes to trusts, because this information will feed towards correspondence, it will feed towards the conveyancing. So most people, they just want to go to the correspondence and conveyancing without understanding these basic accounts. That's why
Mm-hmm.
they struggle a lot. So before you go there, the foundation is very much important. I like the fact that you said if you practice, you get it. But if you practice on the basic understanding, it's going to be much better.
Yes.
Okay. Now,
Sure.
let's talk about, irrespective of whether you're talking about the correspondent or the picture of the conveyancing, the fact is you need to understand the trust books. But the first thing that you must always know, before you can even check the information, you must expect these accounts. That's the first thing that you need to expect. So even if they are not, you're not sure which accounts are they going to ask you, but just know that this is the most important account. So the trust
Yes.
bank, this is the most important account. But sometimes they just say trust cash book. So don't worry about it. They mean one and the same thing. So I want you to check this. These are the two most important accounts.
Okay.
So under the business, we're still gonna have the bank account, but it must be the business. So we need to start here, because even under bank reconciliation statement, this is very much important. But remember, the bank
Okay.
record is still coming. So I just want to say. So firstly, you must understand this account. So you must have the bank account for the trust money, and you must have the bank account obviously for the business. Because if you are running a business, like in your case, you are running a business in a way like the business
Yes.
that you are in. So obviously, you need to have the account for your business. Can you see now? So
Mm-hmm.
it's important for us to understand this account. And
Okay.
again, with the basic accounting, you know that there are rules of accounting. We've got 5 groups of accounts. If I may ask you, if you remember, I know maybe you didn't do the basic before, but we can just talk about them now. I'm going to write them down for you. But if you know them, no problem. You can tell me. Firstly, what I like This is the first set of accounts. For every business,
Yes.
you need assets. And then
Assets.
obviously we cannot, assess, and sometimes,
Equities.
we can
Mm,
not always buy, we cannot always buy for cash. And then we do have
yeah.
equities. That's why this is
Equity.
important for you to have equities. And we must have what? Incomes. And then we have,
Income.
so this is what is important. So the
Ex-
basic principles are always around these accounts. Are you with me?
yes.
Now, and they do have rules, but I'm not going to dwell much on that because you can still learn the rules as we go along. Okay. Firstly,
Mm,
the important thing is for us to know how to classify these accounts because this is important. So we must know that this is what belongs to the business. You see, to the business, depending whether we're talking about the trust or the business. So the bank account, irrespective of whether it's the bank account for the trust or the bank account for the business, it will still remain what? It will still remain. Can you see now? It doesn't
asset.
matter.
Yeah.
As long as it is bank, it will still remain there. Why must we know that? Because we must know the rules. Because when we receive cash, we must know that we will always receive cash on the, that's a fact.
Yeah.
If we pay cash, we must always come here. Don't confuse this with the bank statement because with the bank statement is the opposite. I'm not talking about the bank statements here. I'm talking about the
Yes.
bank as my asset. So the same applies to this one. It doesn't change. So I want you
Mhm.
to get this. So this is the first thing that you're gonna do. The recording, don't worry, we'll still come. But when you record, you must ask yourself, make it practical. Am I receiving cash or am I paying cash? So depending
Okay.
on that, it will guide you which side must you go and record that particular transaction.
Mhm.
Are you okay with this bank account?
Yes. I understand that
Okay?
the trust bank and the business bank are
Yes.
assets.
No. Perfect. I like that. Now, the next thing, remember, this is all about the trust money. But obviously, we have these trust books because of our clients.
Mhm.
Okay? So obviously, you need to have, like, if you've got 100 clients, you're gonna open 100 clients account. But let's say here we've got one account, né? Client account. So we've got
Yes.
that client as, let me just use Simono as your client.
Mhm.
Simono. But I'm just gonna say Simono. We always write what? Trust. Because this is where we're
Trust.
gonna put Simono's money. Remember, the sides will not change. They will always be, the left will always be debit, right will always be credit. Okay. So it
Yeah.
means if we receive Simono's money, let's say Simono wants to go, let me just use something that is fashionable in South Africa. Simono is aiming to divorce in December. This place is like we celebrate that.
Divorce is fashionable.
So I'm just saying sorry. But yeah, so remember, I
Laughing.
turn up. No, it's okay. I know it's not a good thing, but I was seeing a video
No, it's the
yesterday about a certain country. They call it Mauritania. So they
same.
take divorce as a celebration because they don't rate
Wow.
the marriage as, they rate divorce. They say divorce will give you a better man. I was surprised, but it's okay.
Wow.
Don't worry. Yeah. So
Interesting.
here is Mr. Smono. He wants
Mhm.
to, to have that process in the future. Want to have that. So he approaches you as you are at, let's say his attorney. He said, please, I
Mhm.
wanna give you cash because I need you to go and help me with this process. So obviously, Simone will give you money, and obviously that money belongs to Simone for now because you can't use it. Ne? You can only use it after
Yes.
you have paid for it. Okay. So that money
Yes.
obviously must go into the trust bank account. If I may ask you, under which side must I go and record that money in the trust bank? Debit or credit? If someone
Uh,
gives you, let's say I give you, let's say 20,000, I must put it in
yeah.
the trust. Under which side?
Under the debit.
On the debit, I will come here. Can you see that? But I must show that this money comes from, it belongs to Simone. Can you see now? Trust. Can you
Yes.
see now? And then I must
Yes.
say, okay, Mr. Simono gave me 20,000. So this shows that in the trust bank, remember, trust bank is not only for Simono, it's going to be for other clients. But in that
Yes.
trust bank account, 20,000 belongs to what?
To
Simono.
Simone.
Can you see now?
Yes.
But at the same time, I must go ensure that Simono has got money in his account. So again, I must go to Simono Trust and ensure that this money that is in the bank belongs to Simono Trust. So, but
Yeah.
firstly, we need to understand the basics. We must know that Simono is acting as a liability. Why? Because this money does not belong to the business. It
Oh
belongs to
yes.
Simono. So it means we are having the money. Remember, we still have to perform. We owe what?
Yeah.
Simono
Yeah.
this 20,000. So we need to show that, remember the rules. Like I'm saying, I'm just going to improvise. The rules, this is the opposite. The liabilities increase on the credit side and they decrease on the debit side.
The debit side.
We need to go and record under Simono Trust to show that we owe Simono. Yes, sometimes we forget the rules, but there's a rule that we always use in accounting. We call it a double entry system. I don't know if you heard about it before.
Yes. Yes, I did.
It means if one account is debited, when I transfer to Simono, I cannot go to the same side. I must always go to the opposite side.
Yes.
So meaning under Simono here, I'm
Does
gonna
that
record
work
on the
all the time, or is it
come
only
again.
for? Does this opposite work all the time, or is only for certain accounts?
All the time, as long as you are dealing with what we call, these are called general ledger accounts. As long as you are dealing with the general ledger accounts, this is the general
Okay.
ledger account, you will always apply that system. But just make sure that you are sure about one account, because you can still apply the system and your books can still be incorrect. Like for example, if this one is incorrect, you put it on the on the credit side. It means you're gonna apply the system and you'll still go to the wrong side. Can you see now?
Yeah.
Make sure
Everything.
that the first one is correct.
Yeah.
Are you okay? Yes. So what
Sure.
I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna write this 20,000, but I must also write the details. I must just check where did I get this 20,000 from? It was from the trust bank account. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna say trust bank.
Okay.
Or you can say cash book. It's up to you. They won't penalize you, and you say 20,000.
So here we don't, or because it's under Simone, we don't have to specify. I get it. Yeah, I get it.
Yes, we don't have to spend. But what you can do, ne, because I think you can even do this in brackets. In the you can just say, let's say it's for divorce, ne? Let's say divorce. Can you see now?
Yeah.
Sorry, divorce. I don't know. I just no deposit. Just that's something like just to give it. You know, even here you can just say divorce, deposit. It's up to you. But as long as you have this, it doesn't matter. So they are not very strict when it comes
It's for,
to
yeah, it will help for one to understand it, especially if there are
yeah.
many.
Yes, can you see now? So you can, yeah, you. I think yeah, you can do that just for because they are not very strict with it. That will help you. Even here, you can just say
Mm.
divorce and then you say and just deposit,
Yeah.
just like that. Yeah, but I
Okay.
prefer to write in detail like this because this one, can you see? It tells me where do I go from here. As long as
Yeah,
I
and
write
then
someone or trust here, it's gonna tell me to go to someone or
you
trust.
say, mm,
Can you see now? So this shows that we have got money in the bank, but this money is owed to Mr. Simono because we still have to
mm,
perform on his behalf.
yes.
So the receiving of money will always be like this. It will always
Okay.
affect an asset, which is the bank, and thereafter a
Mm,
liability, of which in this case is Simono.
mm,
The same thing is going to be applied under correspondence, even though under correspondence, the correspondent will become the client. Are you with me? So, but the same procedure. But you need to start here so that it can make sense. You must still start with where you deal with that client directly. So know how to deal with that client directly.
Of clarity, where we have written Simono Trust, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It's not a bank, it's just his account.
We're talking about what? This one or this one? Which
This one. Yeah, the one you pointed at, yes. Simono Trust,
Yeah,
the liability.
Yeah, this is his account. You know?
It's
So
his
we are
account.
just because if we can have 1,000 clients, it means can you see for sometimes as a student, think about you as a student now. When you owe this institution, when they send you a statement, let's say monthly, the statement has got your own name.
Yes.
It means it's because in their books they opened you like this.
Yeah.
A separate account
Yes.
only you.
Separate
You
account.
understand what I mean? But
Yes.
the bank will accommodate all of them at the same time. So if they cannot do this, it means they will end up sending you a statement that says you owe them 5 million. Only that to find
Yes.
that that 5
Yeah.
million is owed by everyone.
Yes.
So
No,
normally
that's clear.
we call this a debtors, we can call it individual ledger. This one is the individual ledger in a way.
Individual ledger. Okay. Yeah, that clears this. Yeah.
That's true. So if I can have let's say Jones, I'm gonna open Jones the same way. If I can have Azri, I don't know, I'm just say Azri because I saw Azri somewhere, and I'm just gonna write what
Yes.
Azri Trust. Can you see? So all the clients will be
Yes.
treated the same. So that's why sometimes we call this, we can call it trust client. It's up to you to make it a bit,
Okay.
say trust
Understandable.
client.
Mm.
Even say trust creditor is up to you. So if you give it more information, it makes sense.
It makes sense. Yeah. And when you call them a creditor, then we know it's a liability.
It's a liability.
Mm.
So every time you receive money from the client, this is the procedure.
Okay.
It doesn't matter who is the client. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Clear.
Yes. Are you okay with this too?
Yes.
Now, remember, we are running a business here. We are not running a charity organization whereby we just act without any compensation. No, no, no. We don't do that.
Mm.
We perform on behalf of someone now. Can you see now? Let's say
Yes.
we perform and then now we say, okay, Simono, we bill Simono. So we must
Mhm.
know and open the account that we are going to do and bill Mr. Simono. So Mr. Simono is celebrating his freedom. Now we must celebrate our compensation. So we're still going to have David. We're still have going. Remember now under business books, we only
Yeah.
bill under business. So if you let's say for example in the exam, if you don't know which accounts to open, because sometimes they don't even ask you, they don't even tell you which accounts to open. You must just know which accounts to open.
Mm.
I advise you to do this. The minute you open Trust Bank, you must open what? Business Bank. Ne? Remember, this is the same
Okay.
as the business bank. You
Yes.
must write business. And then, as a guidance, the minute you write Simon or Trust, come again here and write Simono Business. Just opposite like that. Sorry.
Okay.
Let me just write it and say Simono Business. The same way, they're just the opposite of what you wrote on top there.
Okay.
Can you see now? So,
Yeah.
yes, you can do that. So, this one is going to be used to bill Mr. Simono.
Yeah. We only
Okay?
bill under business bank. Yeah.
Under this, yes, under this one. So we must make sure that we do that. So let's say, for example, we performed and then we had to bill, let's say, the whole 20,000. Even though it's very rare to bill 20,000, because sometimes you can find that we have got other costs which we had to deduct. Ne? But let's say for the sake of for this, ne? Let's say now we bill, we finished and then now we billed Mr. Simon what? 20,000.
1,000.
Or maybe what do you think we can build? Maybe let's say let's bill him.
Let's build three things.
How much?
There's something. Are you asking the amount?
Yeah, just estimate any amount that we can build.
Really, maybe 10,000.
Let's build 10,000. Now, we need to interpret this 10,000. Remember, when we build 10,000, Mr. Simono doesn't give us the amount on the spot. It's not possible because remember, it's a process. We have to send him a statement after.
Yeah.
So now we must just show that we billed you. If we bill you, it means we invoiced you. You owe us. That's the motive now. First, we can only invoice under Simono business. So it means Simono business will act as a debtor. Because a debtor is someone who owes. So you can call it a client debtor. It doesn't matter. Yes. So it's in other words, it's a debtor. Why? We must know that it's because firstly we need to know and understand. A debtor is all understand.
Sorry, you were faint there. A debtor is what?
It's an asset.
Oh.
So remember, if I invoice you, that money belongs to me. It means
Yes.
I qualify to classify that as my asset because you are going to pay me. That's why if you don't pay me, I'm going to say, please, you promise to pay me, because that money belongs to me. So it is classified as an asset. So the minute you open business, someone of business here, just know that this is what you are entitled to. So whatever you are entitled to is going to be classified as an asset. And therefore, immediately you need to put those rules of account. That's why I'm going to put an arrow that goes up here, an arrow that goes down here. Remember the rules of assets. Assets increase on the debit side and they decrease on the credit side. And this will help you to record under the correct side. Are you with me?
Yes.
So remember here I'm under the business. But remember it doesn't matter whether you are under the business or under the trust. The rules of accounts will still apply. It doesn't matter which books are you talking about.
Okay.
Now, let me ask you a question. Now we are invoicing Mr. Simono 10,000. To show that Mr. Simono owes me, where do you think I must go and because I must bill under Simono? Under which side must I come and record to show that Simono owes me?
So Simono's business is an asset.
Yes.
Which means that I must on the left-hand side, I think.
You are correct, but I don't like left. I don't like left. I like it when you put it. Sorry, I'm strict. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. On the what is this DR? On the DR
Yes.
side.
No, we call it a debit side. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Debit side.
It's okay. Don't worry. It doesn't. You don't affect your marks. Don't worry. I just like the language.
No. I'm also strict and I appreciate that. Yes.
Yes.
The debit
So
side.
meaning debit side, I'll come here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bill. But when I bill, that is a fee. So I'm gonna say I'm billing Mr. Simono a fee.
Okay.
For now, I'm just gonna talk about it. Like normally we are VAT vendors and then we're gonna charge VAT. For now, let me ignore VAT. Okay, I'm gonna come back to VAT.
Sure.
Yes, I'm gonna say fee. We charge a fee, and then I'm gonna say okay, we charge a fee. You can even if you know for which you can just say divorce process. It doesn't matter, but here you can just say a fee, and we said we're gonna charge Mr. Simono 10,000.
Yeah.
Are you with me?
Yes.
So it means it shows we are on the debit side. It shows that Mr. Simono, you owe us 10,000. Because if you can put it on the credit side, it means, hey, Mr. Simono,
we
owe Mr. Simono. Yes, we can't. So that's why it's a question that we're gonna go and take, maybe even not today, whereby they give you information whereby a debtor has got a credit, so they want you to deal with it. but we're gonna go there. Don't worry.
Okay.
Okay. Are you okay so far with the fee?
Yes.
So the minute you charge a fee, it means you also need a fee account. Remember, they won't tell you which accounts to open. You must know the process.
You must know.
And it becomes natural if you do it on a regular basis. You don't even think about
On
it.
practicing.
That's why even a man of my caliber, I'm just writing about it like nobody's business. Okay, sorry, I'm just showing off.
Yes.
But I'm just saying, I'm trying to
No,
prove a
you
point.
have to like it.
Can you see? I can say fee or fee account or fee income. It doesn't matter. It's up to you. I'm just going to call it a fee. Again, it doesn't
Okay.
change. The fact is, this side will still be debit and this side will still be
Debit
credit.
and the side is the credit. Yeah.
Yes. Let me challenge you. Please transfer this 10,000 to me to the fee account and tell me under which side.
Okay. So when I look at this,
Mhm.
I put what you said as the basic,
Yes.
because under the business data, so it will be, yeah, under there our fee is on the debit side, which means that our fee under the fee account will be on the
Yes.
credit side.
On fire, on fire, on fire. We come to the credit side.
On the credit side. Yeah.
So, what must I write as
That's
description
what
or
I'm
detail?
saying. Sorry? Or the
What must I
details.
write? Yes.
Fee 10,000.
You cannot write fee under fee in a way. It's okay. So, what you need to do, you need to check where are you going to get this amount from? From which account are you going to transfer from? Which account are you going to
We are
transfer from?
transferring from
Where did you record
from
that fee? Just check the account that you recorded in.
I think we get it from his trust book. Am I right?
No, no, no. Remember, it's here. It's not trust here. So, what is the account where you recorded this 10,000? What is the name of this account? Check on top.
It's criminal business.
Yes. Can you see now?
Yeah, now I see.
Always check from which account did you transfer. Are you gonna transfer from? Remember, you are applying that system. So just check on top there and write it there.
Yeah.
That's why
And then
even there you wrote fees. Can you see now? You fee,
yeah.
you fee there. So
Oh,
just check there.
okay. But I know that I understand the opposite. Is there another
Yes.
way in which this can be explained?
Okay, if I explain it, I'm gonna explain it according to the rules. Okay?
Yes.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
say this according to the groups up there. What is it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say this is what? This is an income.
Yeah.
As per rules, the incomes will increase on the credit side. Those are the rules. And they
Okay.
decrease on the credit side. So the fact that we have got an income in the business, it means our incomes
Yeah.
are increasing. That's why I came to the credit side. I don't know if it makes sense.
It will.
Yes. So you can
It will
either
make
apply the rules. If the rules, let's say for example, you forget the rules, is then that you can apply the system because the system will help
the
you.
yeah. This system. What is important is that you need to get it right from the business
The first
side.
one,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes. The
Yes.
first one has to be right. Okay.
Wherever you record it first, make sure that it's correct. So again,
Yeah.
I think you must just know both because sometimes if you apply the rules here, let's say you made a mistake here, you came here on the credit side by mistake, and here you applied
Mhm.
the rules, and you see yourself coming here on the credit, and here is on the credit, you will just say, know that something is wrong. Why are we
Something
having
is wrong.
credit? Credit.
Yeah.
Can you see now?
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you must just double check yourself by applying a different system. Can you see now?
Yeah.
Just to say, okay, is what I've read already correct or not? Because yes, I use the system. The system doesn't mean I understand. The system means I just know how to record. But let me apply the understanding. Is this system correct? When you apply the rules, you can verify that
Then
this is
income, yeah.
correct. Yes.
Okay.
Are you okay so
Okay.
far?
Yes.
So sorry, I'm very slow for a reason. I think you know why. So I'm just trying to
Yes.
make sure that when you
No,
take an exercise, it with the confidence.
I appreciate it.
No problem.
Because right now it's still jumbled up, but I can assure you I'll get there.
Now you will. You will definitely get
Mm, mm.
it. Okay, now we have performed, we know what is entitled to us. But by writing this 10,000 was just showing that we are owed. This means we are owed 10,000. Can you see now?
Ah, see, that's what I wanted you to explain.
Yes.
So, yes, when I say how, because it can't just be the opposite.
Yes.
Because if it's just the opposite, it might as well be the other opposite. Yeah,
That's true.
and yeah. So if we say we go to Simono Business, who is our debtor, and we say you owe us this amount,
10,000.
which increases our asset, which is 10,000. Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah. 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 And then which means that when we go to this fee income, ne?
Hmm?
The fee, which is an income,
Yes.
the book fee, which is an income, hence it is decreasing on the debit side.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's the explanation that I needed. I understand now.
Yes. So this, remember, this one will increase our asset, like you said, and this
Mm.
one is going to increase our incomes. Remember, our incomes are going to be used to calculate whether we made profit or loss. So when we are
Yes.
dealing with the incomes, this is going to be part of our incomes in the statement of profit and loss.
Okay.
But remember, there's a difference between profit and cash. Cash and profit is, if you made a profit of 10,000, it doesn't mean that you made cash of 10,000. I think you know by now. Because in accounting, we don't only deal with cash. So if you give, let's say I've got an income of 10,000 and I still have to receive it, I can still show it as a profit, but it doesn't mean that it's cash. That's
Yes.
why there's something called cash flow statement, whereby we check how much is the actual cash out of the incomes that we have.
Hmm.
At the moment, it doesn't mean that this is cash. No, no, no. It's just showing that we have got an income which comes from the data. Are you with me?
Yes.
So what we need to do now, we must go and take the real cash now. Yes, you owe me 10,000. Now please give me the cash. That's where most students struggle to account. They don't know how to go through this
Hmm.
process. But I'm going to show you how to do that. Are you with me?
Yes.
The process of taking cash, like this 10,000 in the form of cash, there are
Hmm.
two steps that we're going to follow. That process is called, we are going to deal with what we call the transfers. I don't know if you've heard about this before. Sometimes they ask you
Yes.
for transfer check. So now
Transfer.
I'm gonna yes. So now I'm gonna deal with what we call the transfer. Let me just change the color. So the transfer is when you are going to take the money that you are entitled to. You performed, you now entitled to what was promised to you. This is what was promised to you. This is just showing you that you are owed this. Now you want cash. You want 10,000 cash. So if you want 10,000 cash, we need to follow the steps. We do what we call the transfer. Are you
Transfer
with me?
journal. Yes.
Yes. So there's a journal for that. Remember, for now, I'm not talking about the journals. I'm only talking about their general ledger accounts. Don't worry,
Yeah.
at a later stage in the future, we're going to show the transfer journal. Okay, but
Okay.
now we need to know how much must we transfer. Are you with me?
Yes.
Firstly, you need to know that the money that you're going to get as cash must come from the money that we have in the trust. Are you with me? This means, can you see here Simono Trust? Remember, this is the money that we owe. Do you know that this is the money that belongs to our client? This 20,000.
Yes. Yeah.
Out of this 20,000, we must take our 10,000 out of this 20,000.
10,000.
So the transfer, the first step will take place between Simono Business and Simono Trust. That's the first step. Because the money is in the trust there. So I must go and take it out there to show that we are entitled now. But we need to be careful. How much are we going to transfer? We are aiming to transfer how much? 10,000.
10,000.
Before you transfer, you need to go and check in that trust. Do we have enough money in the trust? I'm talking about the individual trust. Do we have enough money to transfer 10,000?
Okay.
Do we have? That's a question. Do we have enough money to transfer 10,000?
Yes, we do.
Now we can transfer 10,000.
We can transfer.
But remember,
10,000.
if we only had 2,000 there, we could only be limited to 2,000. The transfer was supposed to be only be 2,000. So we are controlled by how much is in the trust here. I don't know if it makes sense.
Yeah, I understand.
Yes. We must avoid what we call irregularity. Okay. Now we need to come here and transfer. Remember, you can't transfer on the debit side, because if you come to the debit side, it means you are coming to increase this. So you transfer always on the opposite side. You're gonna come here and say Simono, because you transfer between trust and business. Just write Simono Trust.
So you would transfer only on the credit side.
Yeah, because if we transfer, it means we are reducing this. We are canceling this. We are showing that we are going to be paid this. You will always have a transfer on the credit side, depending on the amount. Because this amount sometimes, not a fee, sometimes can be on the credit side if it's a balance. Obviously, the transfer must be on the opposite side. Okay.
Okay. Sure.
But generally, the transfer, let me put it like this: the transfer must always be on the opposite side. Why am I doing that? Is because sometimes you can find that they give you the balances, they say you must transfer, even though the balance is a negative. But 90% of the time, you will always have a transfer on the credit side. Are you with me? But special cases, the special cases, you can have a transfer on the debit side, of which normally you must not do it, because it means you're going to create irregularity.
Irregularities.
Let me talk about that after. I don't want to confuse you. Let me talk about this situation.
Sure.
Okay. So in brackets here, I can just say what? Transfer. So that I can give you a little bit of information. Yes, we agree that it is possible to transfer how much? 10,000.
10,000.
Yes. So we transferred 10,000. Can you see if we transfer, it means whatever we are entitled to has been transferred. Can you see now? Yes, but don't worry, that's a process. So can you see I wrote Simono Trust? It means this money must come from Simono Trust. So I must go to the Simono Trust. Under which side must I go and record this under Simono Trust? Here.
Because it's coming from Simono Trust.
Which side? Okay, for now, apply the system and we can talk about understanding thereafter. Here I said Simono Trust and I can see the amount is on the credit here. When I go to the Simono Trust,
it will go under the debit side.
It will come to the debit side. But I must check. What must I write here as description or details?
Simono Business.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, Simono Business, yes.
You can even write in brackets, just for control. Just for nothing to lose.
Yeah, so you can have the opposite thing again.
Can you see? So
Yeah.
this is the can you see the transfer? If you can check all the past papers, even your books, you will see after understanding this, the transfer will always be dealt with the same way I dealt with it here.
Mm, mm,
Take
mm.
place between the trust and the business. And I'm telling you, the name must always be the same, Simono Simono. You can't have
Simono.
Simono and Azude. Never. You can't have Simono and
Mm,
Azude. So you must have
mm.
Simono Simono. The only difference is trust and business.
Okay. Makes
And it
sense.
makes sense. Why do I say it makes sense? Check here. It means out of Simono Trust, we transferred how much? 10,000. Can you see the account went down?
Yes.
If I can say balance this account now, how much are you left with now?
10,000.
Yes, but we're not balancing yet. I'm just saying in advance. This
Yeah.
must be practiced
Yes.
because just imagine if you made a mistake, you transferred this 10,000 to this side. This means that
Yeah.
now the client has got 30,000. It's not true.
True.
The
Yeah.
client must have less. That's why the understanding sometimes helps. Why do you go there? You must understand the reason why you must go there.
Okay. But all this would be informed by the question, right?
The transfer things.
No, what the books that we are dealing with now, we will be informed by a question that says, your client, Mr. Simono, paid you 20,000, and
Yes,
your bills are 10,000 for this and that. Yeah. Okay.
that's true. Yeah, no, that information will be given to you. Remember, here we're just doing it like, we come
Yes.
up with,
We're
but you will
coming up
see
with,
there.
we're making it,
Yes,
yes. It's
yes.
beautiful.
But the only challenge, they will just say, open the books. Can you see that? They're very clever. So they expect
Yeah.
you to know which accounts to open. They won't tell you unless if they
Okay.
want only two books. Most questions they say trust. They don't even say trust books. They say please open the books in the ledger. So
Mm.
meaning you must know, you must remember. That's why I say you must have a technique. Just know that you will always have trust bank. You will always have business bank. You will
A
always have
business.
you will always have the trust for that individual. You will always have the business for that individual. You will always have the fee because if you charge the fee, you must have the fee. So this one, don't worry. You will see because they will say the fee is this, and then you will know that okay, I must open the fee account. Can you see now? So this one
Okay.
is what you're gonna. But these other ones, just know them. Don't memorize them. Just know them. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Understand. Mm. Mm.
Yes.
Okay. So
Now
far, so
remember,
good.
we didn't finish here. Remember, we just did the transfer between the individual accounts. Can you see now? These are the individual accounts.
Mm.
Now we must do the transfer to show that, remember the 10,000 in cash is standing there in the trust bank check.
Yeah.
So it means we must go to the bank and now take the real cash. So the next step for transfer must take place between the trust bank and the business bank. So
Okay.
transfer takes place two times. Firstly, between the individual accounts like we did,
Okay.
but if we can leave it like this, the process is incomplete because if I go to the bank, it still shows that the client still has 20,000, of which is not the case. I must go and take that 10,000 from that bank so that everything can
Mm.
balance.
Okay.
Are you with me? So now let's go
So,
and take the.
so we said that the transfer takes place two times.
Yes,
Firstly, from the individual,
yes,
and then the second part is on the trust bank.
between the bank accounts.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Are you with me?
Yes.
Now, let me ask you a very, just take it practical, né? Take it very practical. Let's focus on the trust bank. I want to take my 10,000. Under which side must I record 10,000 to show that I want to take it out?
under the trust bank.
Yes. I want to record that 10,000 to take it out.
If we want to take it out, it means we are reducing the assets,
Yes.
which is that, yeah. So it must come from the credit side.
I must come to the case. I agree. Can you see now? And we
No,
take this,
mm,
we take it to, remember now it belongs to us. We take it to our own
business
bank.
bank.
Yes. Can you see? We take it out. We take 10,000 out. Can you see now? It makes sense now.
So if I understand this correctly, the
Yes.
trust books is not our money. All the money that belongs to the client. That's clear.
Yes. That's
And
it.
every time the client deposits the money, it increases on the debit side.
Yes.
And so this one called the business books.
Yes.
This is, so maybe let me ask, when I say business transfer, that 10,000 that I'm now taking from the trust account, I am now going to pay it into my own business account,
That's true.
which will,
Remember,
which,
all along, the
yeah,
money, you did not deserve any money. This money was for the trust. You deserve money because now you finished your performance, you completed your, now you are entitled to that. That's why it comes like as the last.
okay. Yeah, it's getting clearer now. So
Yes.
that money must come from the trust bank into our business bank,
And
and
under which side?
it will increase under the debit side.
Perfect. On fire.
I think so.
Can you see now?
Yeah.
What is the description now? What must I write?
Um. Wait. It must be. This is business. It must be trust. It must be trust. Now I'm no longer whether it's Simono Trust or Trust Bank. Trust
It's going to
Bank.
be trust. Perfect. Just for a little bit of
Trust.
information, just like
Yeah.
this.
Transfer. Okay. 10,000.
You see now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't forget, transfer takes place 2 times.
Yes.
Firstly,
The
between
individual and between the
the
bank.
thereafter, and between the banks. Because most students forget this one, and these are marks. They can do this
So
transfer, but they
here is
forget to do this.
trust bank, and here is the, yeah. Okay.
Yes. And transfer, please always deal with the transfers at the end. You can't transfer before you finish. What are you going to transfer? Because you must first finish. So you must transfer after you recorded all the other information. Because you must know how much must you transfer. Remember, this account must be complete before you can transfer. So if you don't transfer before time, it's going to confuse you. What are you transferring? What if you've got another fees that is coming? Because it's possible
Yeah.
that you are various clients and you've got about 10 fees. We're supposed to first write the fees here, thereafter decide how much is the total fee and you decide whether you can transfer or not. Remember, before you transfer, you compare with what you have in the trust here.
Yes. Do
Was
we
that
have enough money to pay ourselves or transfer?
it? You only
Okay.
transfer what is available.
Okay.
Can you see?
It's looking good.
Mm.
So
Now,
my question
after
is, do
yes,
this,
yes. Yeah, you can.
so there's when all is done, there shouldn't be any blanks or something. Is that so?
You're talking
Like, can you
about
see
blanks. What?
in the trust bank, both on
Yes.
the debit and the credit, there's some information in all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So my question
Mm-hmm.
is, so it means that at the end, there must not be. Can you see under business bank there?
Mm-hmm.
We only have transfer 10,000, but on the other side it's empty.
No. It's not like that. It depends on the situation, current situation. It
Oh,
doesn't mean
okay.
like this one. I'm not forced to have anything on the debit. No,
Anything. Oh, okay.
it
Okay. Makes sense.
depends on what you. So, but again,
Okay.
now we are going to balance because there's nothing else that we need to record in these books. There's no other information.
Mm,
The only thing, go and check how much do we still have in the banks, and then how much is the client still heavy. So it's only about balancing
okay.
at the moment. Like for example, you check here. If you check here, okay, I don't know if enough space, but I'm gonna squeeze everything in. For
Okay.
now, allow me to delete this one. I can write it back, it doesn't matter because I want to show you how to balance. Okay, so I'm
Okay.
gonna just delete this one. Now I'm gonna show you how to balance. Of
Mm-hmm.
which most students struggle, but it's the easiest thing on earth. I'm not saying you must feel bad.
I like it
Yeah,
when
don't feel
people
bad.
say how to balance.
Yes. Now
I,
the first
I,
step.
mm,
Do you know how to balance?
sorry?
Do you know how to balance the
No,
account?
no, no, I don't.
It's okay. So the first thing that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put two lines like this, two lines like this. Okay, it means I'm
Mm-hmm.
balancing now. So firstly, I'm gonna ask myself a question between the debit and the credit for this account only. Which side is the biggest?
The debit.
So if the debit is the biggest, I'm gonna come here and write it as it is. You said it's the biggest, ne? I'm gonna write
Yeah.
20,000. Now
Mm-hmm.
I'm also gonna write it as the balance of the other one. So the biggest side will be the total for both sides. I don't know if it makes sense. That's the first step.
It's something that I just have to know because it doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Okay, no, I think it will make sense
Yeah, yeah.
after I finish. So this is the first step. So you just have to check the biggest side first, and then
Yes.
you if 10,000 was the biggest, ne? I'll say 10,000, 10,000. Are you with me?
10,000. Yeah, yeah, yeah. How to balance. So you
Yes.
said how to balance. Check the big
Side.
amount
Hmm? And make it the total for both sides.
and make it the total for both sides.
Yes,
Hmm,
that's the
things are
first step.
coming back.
Yes, you're coming. Your life is coming back. It's not.
Things are coming back. Yeah. All those things that I knew before, they're like slowly coming back. Check the big amount side and make it the total for both sides.
Yes,
Okay, perfect.
no problem. Second step, ne?
Yeah.
Find the difference between the two sides.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously the difference will be this side minus that side.
Yeah.
Remember, this side is not 20,000. This is just a total. This side is 10,000 only, and this side is 20,000.
Yes,
So
20.
it means if you can check here, 20 adds up to 20 here. Can you see it makes sense this one? But here I've
Sorry?
got 10,000. Okay, if I say
Yeah.
I put
Mm-hmm.
20 here, this makes sense if
Yes.
I say the total is 20 because I've got 20
20.
and
Yeah.
the total is 20. But here I've got 10,000, the total is 20. It doesn't make sense. It means something must be added here to make it 20.
Oh,
That's why you must
okay.
find the difference between the two. So the difference between the 20 and the 10 is what I'm looking for, is what I'm going to put it here.
Yeah.
And we call that, I'm going to change the color for this one. We call that balance. Tear it
Oh,
down. That is the difference. Can you see the importance? So that
10,000.
when I add 10,000 plus 10,000, I get 20.
20. And then that's 20 plus. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. That is step number 2.
Mm.
We find the difference between the two sides, and that difference must be recorded obviously on the smallest side so that we're trying to balance this account. So now we've got
Yes.
20 there, it adds up 20, we've got 20 there.
Okay.
But After calling it balance carried down, you need to bring it down on the other side. So you must go to the other side here at the bottom here, and you say balance brought down. And that brought down obviously is just copy and paste. Is what is this 10,000 that you called carried down. So carried down will always become brought down. So this shows that, sorry, this is the balance. Can you see? You still have money in the bank.
In the bank, yeah.
Does that make sense? So you must always bring it down
You
because you
said
can.
this is balance brought down.
Yes.
D is balance
So
brought down, and the other one is carried down. Okay.
yeah, remember the carry down is when you find the difference between the sides.
Yeah, yeah.
You must always bring it down. Why must we bring it down? This shows that this will be the balance for the next financial period or the next month.
Mm.
Because if you leave it like that, it's going to be difficult for you to interpret. So if you say the brought down will always be on the opposite side. Remember, in future, you can find that the carried down is on this side, on the debit side.
Yeah.
It will mean that this brought down must be on the credit side. So the
On the
brought down
credit
depends on what you put credit down.
where the credit. Okay.
It will always be the opposite side. So why
Okay.
do we bring down? Because this will help us to make a decision, to check whether we still have cash or not in the bank. So remember here it shows positive. Can you see now? The minute you see brought down on the debit side, it means in the bank we still left with 10,000.
There's money.
But it can happen that in the future you find this brought down on the credit side. It will mean that the bank, the trust bank, has got a credit balance of which is not allowed. But yes, it happens. Even in our daily lives, you can find that my bank account is a negative. It happens in life.
Yeah, yeah.
So if the balance was on the credit side, this brought down, it would mean that a bank has got a negative balance. But as long as you see it on the debit side, this brought down, it means we still have money in the bank.
In the bank, yes.
Can you see now? So that is how to balance an account.
Yeah.
Please don't forget to bring it down.
Always bring it down. So
Always bring it down.
if it was 2020, it was just going. We were just going to end. We were not going to have. It was just done.
Yeah, obviously you won't have carried down.
We carried down how to
You will just
balance.
have
Okay.
20. It will be 2020, and that's all.
Okay.
You will still do the same thing, but it's going to be 2020. You're gonna say which side is the biggest. Okay, or both sides are the same. So the biggest are both sides. 2020. That's all.
Okay. Yeah. Slowly. But surely.
Yeah, slowly but surely. Okay, please can we try to balance this one? The trust. Same procedure. What do you think is the first step here?
Check the amount. The side. The big amount is on the credit,
Okay.
and then I make it the total here. So it means I
Yeah.
will come and write the 20 on the debit side here. Yeah, there, yes, 20. And then also write 20 there.
Hmm?
And then under the, so this one,
Step number 2.
find the difference between these two sides and be recorded on the other side. So I must record this 10,000. Sorry, remember, wait. I must now come to the debit side and record the other 10,000, the 10,000 on top of the 20.
How did I find that 10,000?
How did we find it?
Yeah, because you said the other 10,000. Where is the other 10,000?
Okay. So uh, here's what I've understood on how to balance, right?
Mm, yeah.
I must first check the big amount side
Mm,
and make the total. So now we have 20,000 here and 20,000 there, right? And you said it's two steps, if I'm not mistaken.
yes.
And find the difference between the two sides. So the difference between the two sides is 10,000.
Perfect. I wanted you to tell me that because when you said the other 10,000, I thought, oh, the other, where
Oh,
did we take it from?
the
Sorry.
difference.
Yeah, the difference.
Yeah, so the difference is 10,000.
What we call the
Then,
difference?
sorry,
What we call that difference? Because you must
must
call
be
it something.
recorded on the smaller side.
Yes,
So
which
it
is
means
here.
that it must be recorded on the debit side and it is
Yeah.
called carried down.
Not
What I
carried down only. I want everything in full.
want.
I can't just write
Uh,
carried down. What must I write?
balance carried down.
Sorry for being strict. Carried
No,
down.
please write so that I understand. Yeah, balance carried down is 10,000.
Okay, no problem. And then
So now we have the 10,000 and the 10,000 there. And then on the other side, it will be balance brought down, which is 10,000.
someone is showing off, but it's okay. Yes, which is 10,000.
10,000. I'm trying to not to memorize, but to
Perfect.
understand.
Yes.
Do you know when you are still with the teacher, everything sounds easy?
I know. I know.
Yeah,
I'm the teacher.
because there's someone who's guiding you. When you still have someone who's tutoring you, it sounds easy. Sit on yourself by yourself. No, that's why I want to voice it out. Okay, sure.
This is not bad. Remember, don't speak hard on yourself. Remember, you are seeing this for the not for the first time. Just saying you are
Not for
you are
like
refreshing your mind.
refreshing.
So at least I can see you understand how to balance. So even if I can ask you to balance another one, the same procedure. Are you with me?
Mm, mm, mm.
Now, can you see usually with the accounts which are one-sided, these ones they don't you don't have to worry, you just have to leave it like this. You can just put it like this. You don't have to balance this one. But it's
Okay.
optional for you to do it. You can still do it like that, still the same way. You just check the biggest side, do the same thing. Let me challenge you. I know it's optional, but let's do it. I know it's optional. Let's do this one. The same way we've done the other. What is the first step?
We are balancing which one? The business bank.
Yeah. I know it's one-sided, and I did tell you that it's optional to balance it if it is one-sided, okay? But
Mm.
let's balance it. Let's insist and balance it. What's the first step?
So, yeah, if we are just going with the only amount, which is the big amount, is 10,000. And then we're going to make that
Remember?
10,000 the total. So we have a total of 10,000 there. 10, 10 on both sides.
Excuse the space is very expensive these days, especially in South Africa. So we just have to
Squeeze it.
utilize
Yeah.
only here. Okay, and then what is next?
Um. So now the difference is, are we allowed to write zero?
If the difference is zero, is the difference zero?
Yes.
No, 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 no. Check. The difference is not zero. This side is 10,000. This side is nothing. So what is the difference? I know
10,000.
the reason. Yes.
It's the
I think you
same.
understand why. Yeah, because obviously this is zero here. 10,000 minus zero is 10,000. I agree we're trying to
Yeah.
balance it. And we call it
Oh,
what?
okay. Balance carried.
Perfect.
Balance carried.
It's not. Doesn't matter. So I know mostly sometimes it's confusing. How will I do that?
It
There is
is.
nothing. There is something. There is zero. There is zero there. Zero is a number.
Yeah,
And then
yeah. Okay.
what's next?
So we have a balance carried, balance brought down will be zero, I think.
Mm-mm.
Isn't it? Yeah, so we must have the balance brought down.
Where must I put it? Which side?
Put it on the debit side.
Somewhere here. Ne?
Yeah.
How much?
The one that zero.
Mm-mm. Don't change
It's
the
not zero.
principle the same way. Check the CD. Remember, I said it's always the same as the carried down. What is the carried down?
Oh, 10.
It can't be zero. No. Remember, it's the same thing here. We just bring it
Same
down.
as the,
Like what we
okay.
did there. We just check the
Mm,
carried down all the time.
yes. Okay.
Don't be confused by having nothing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was the
Nothing
confusion.
is zero, and zero is a number. If my carry down was zero here, I'll say zero here. Yes, I'll agree. But my carry
Okay.
down is 10,000. I'll write 10,000.
Sure.
Are you good?
Yeah. Making some noise.
Okay, tell me how to balance this one. Business. This one, small.
But the business is the same. The total is 10, is 10,000.
Yes.
Total, yeah, both total should be 10,000. But this one is this one not balanced?
Yes. Remember, you did ask a question like this up
Yeah.
there. Yeah, that's the situation that you were asking about.
Okay, now it is balanced.
Yes.
And the balance, I'm not sure whether we will have the balance carried down or just the balance brought down on this one because it's balanced.
Which one?
The
This
the
one.
the business, yeah, that this
No,
one
this
is
is
done.
complete. It's
Yeah,
complete, this one.
it's complete.
Mm.
The one
Don't
that's
have to do it.
complete is the fee.
No, the fee, remember, usually the fee, they don't even ask you to balance. But if you want to balance it like the others, you can still do the same, it's okay. But usually with the fees, we transfer it to what we call the profit and loss. Because
It
remember,
may
it's going to be used to calculate profit and loss. But sometimes you can even do it as a balance carry down, it's still okay. But we can leave
okay.
this one. You can leave this one, you can just go to like that.
Leave it like that.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Can you see with time, I
With
want you to feel
time,
like you can
makes
do it.
sense.
It's doable,
Mm.
man, this thing. Very easy.
It, it is someone, while I was listening and listening, I keep listening and listening. And
Yeah.
then I'm told that you are not calculating anything. You are just putting,
Sorry, can I
uh,
can
so,
I 1 minute, please? 1 second,
okay.
man.
Okay. So,
I'll be with you now. Hello. Okay.
so.
Oh,